when they watch the likes of 24 Hours in A&E. Is that not a true reflection for you?
Not in the slightest.
The positives of it, the superpower behind ADHD, right? As a clinical, busy, in the middle of chaos person, it works for you, doesn't it?
And it was so overstimulating. There were noises coming at you constantly. I went for a break, I came back and I said to my colleague who was covering me for break, and I was like, I wish I could bottle this up just so I could show people this is what we deal with.
Really? Do you think that you take things from A&E into aesthetics and vice versa, or because they're so different, you could never do that? Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story, and I'm here for it. I'm Kelly Saynor. Are you ready for some Barefaced Chat? So, Julia, thank you so much for coming and joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody I have picked means something to me. Everybody. It's got to feel like an authentic connection and why you would want to talk to somebody and find out about them. And you were one of the first nurses that I spoke to at the show that you were like, oh my God, I've come here for this. I've come here for the perfect pill.
How long ago was it? 3 years ago, 2 years ago? I don't know.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Can you believe it? You were, from the moment I saw you, I just feel like we were destined.
Yeah,
to something.
It felt like we'd known each other for ages, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
And you know how like I don't take anybody on.
Yeah, you said that to me.
I just don't. Over 10 years. Anyway, thank you for joining me on Barefaced Chat. But I'm going to introduce you, and then if you want to fill in any blanks, you can do. But I want to introduce you in the way that I see you. Okay. So, and I hope this is the right way, because I'm going to talk to you a bit more about the industry and I'm an undiagnosed ADHD. You're a diagnosed ADHD. I think the day will come that I will.
It is inevitable.
It is inevitable. So guys, today my guest wears very many hats and she wears them all with heart. Julia Mansell is an A&E sister and an aesthetics nurse and one of our newest and most trusted trainers for the Perfect Peel, the Super Blend and beyond. And she is somebody that I have become to admire deeply. I look at what you do, I believe in what you do, and I trust what you do for your honesty, integrity, and the calm confidence that you bring. And that when we talked, you feel like you're like all over, and you're not. You bring a calm energy.
Do you think?
Yeah.
You see, I really don't see myself like that.
I really do. You've got like an inner something.
Something.
An inner something. Julia and I are both share something else too, and we're navigating life and business through the lens of ADHD. And something that we talk about often and openly laugh about together. She's fast becoming somebody I trust, not only professionally, but as a friend. And I hope we spend more time together.
Me too.
Exploring that. In this episode, I want to talk to her about entering aesthetics, what brought you to it, juggling the pressure of NHS, especially with A&E and what you do and some of the stories that you've got. I mean, I could have listened to you all night. How you think the aesthetics industry is going, whether you see yourself in it full time. I want to talk all of it. She's juggling life as a mum with 2 hats on, as a nurse, both in and outside of aesthetics. Welcome to Barefaced Chat.
Thank you. I don't know who that person is that you're talking about, but I think I want to meet her.
Well, what if you want to go up?
Yeah. It's really interesting you say that, because people say that to me at work, like when I say work as in A&E, when it's all kicking off and everything's, it's really, really busy, that's when I kind of find my zen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is me thriving. I can think clearly in a chaos, in that environment. But like day to day, I think I'm a whirlwind of chaos, like spinning plates that are just constantly crashing around. Like that, I feel like I don't do anything that's like, I don't know, I look at you and I see you're so organised. And I see all these people around me that are so organised and they remember to do stuff and they're early for things. And I'm just like, like my car's a mess. I've got piles of doom piles that they call them. Yeah, I don't feel like that.
Some might be better at hiding it than others.
Yeah, probably.
I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot. It's probably, I've learned to hide some of it.
But then I think that when you hit a certain age, beginning with a 4,
yes,
you just don't care as much.
No, you don't.
I think you stop masking. You're just like, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
No, you're right. I think we're still evolving and we're still learning about who we are.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, you know, I've certainly learned to give less shits as I've got older.
Yeah.
And I think
definitely.
40's given me that.
Yeah. And it's like you don't even have time to give a shit, really.
That is so true. You don't. Yeah. I think you can't really stop and think about that, actually. Although I think we do because we're overthinkers.
Yeah, we give a shit at 3 o'clock in the morning when we can't sleep.
Exactly right. That's the give a shit time, yeah. And you wish you didn't. But no, I completely agree. Well, what we're going to talk about today is finding your voice. You know, my A&E, my ADHD soul sister, A&E. I want you to tell me stories. Like, I want to hear about life inside and outside of aesthetics and authentic you. I want it to be your space to talk to me about what we believe in. And some of the products as well. We'll touch on that. But what I want to know first from you is what seduced you to aesthetics?
So I remember many years ago, I went to a conference. I can't even remember which one it was. It was years and years ago. And I ended up it was from a medical stand, having Botox there. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. I think I was like 28. And it was always in the back of my mind then. And I was just kind of interested in it. And this was before I went into nursing. So I was like teaching. I must have been younger than 20. I can't remember how old I was. And then we were talking about paths, like the different paths. And this is a real ADHD thing. Like you try lots of different things. Yes. And most people who are diagnosed with ADHD will have had that. They've tried so many different things before they've arrived somewhere.
Yes.
And mine was, I did a degree in something completely unrelated, and then I did teaching, and I hated teaching, so I ended up working for a local authority, working with like teenage pregnancy. Wow. And I was like, oh, I really enjoy health. And then at the same time I was thinking I really enjoy aesthetics, and I was like, no, I'm not really that bothered. Like, I really like health, let's do this. So my initial thought was I'm going to go into like health visiting, but then I did an A&E placement, and that was it. I was like, oh, this is me. Yeah, 100% this is me. And that's where I found myself ages and ages. And then me and a colleague, we were chatting, and we were like, just sort of saying, I was saying, you know, it's still in the back of my mind. It's an itch that I really want to scratch. And she was like, let's do it. And because I'm the overthinker procrastinator, she is a go-getter. She just like make up her mind, do it. And you need people like that in your life when you're a procrastinator, because they push you to go and do things that you would sit on and then just forget about. So she's now got a clinic in London. Well, she's got 2 clinics actually, and she's completely left NHS and she's doing that. But I still have the love.
Do you?
I still have the love of A&E.
Do you ever see yourself not being there?
At some point, yeah, because it's hard and it takes a toll. And I only do it part-time. So I do like 7 clinical shifts a month, and I do management day, and then I'm like the lead nurse for violence and abuse incidents there. So I do a lot of work around that. But yeah, at some point it will. But I'm waiting for the day that I think it's just going to be one of those where you're just like, I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah. You know when you say it takes its toll on you? Let's just expand a bit about that, because I think anybody that has seen the programs, you know, anybody listening that's like, oh my gosh, she's an A&E nurse. How does she do that?
Yeah, those programs are not a reflection at all, because you think people have got to consent to being filmed. Yeah. And people that do not have capacity can't consent. And we were chatting before, like, you know, we'll have like 18, 19 mental health patients in our emergency department at one time. And what that can look like is it can be sometimes, so the other Sunday, so I know I'm jumping around. No, it was a weekday.
Jump around.
It was so loud. I was in majors, which is obviously we have resus, which is, you know, life-saving treatment. Yeah. And then we have like majors and then we have like ambulatory areas. So majors is a lot of the mental health patients are in there. And I think most of the cubicles were mental health. And it was so overstimulating. There were noises coming at you constantly. I went for a break. I came back and I said to my colleague who was covering me for break, and I was like, I wish I could bottle this up just so I could show people this is what we deal with.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like a man came out through his tray up the wall. There was people screaming, people throwing things around, like people needing sedation. It was crazy. Complete chaos. Yeah. And then there's still like, you know, normal sick people coming through the door. that need like medical sickness issues. And yeah, it's just, and it is constant. And then you have that for like 12 and a half hours and you come home and your head hurts and you're just like, I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Just leave me alone.
Wowzer.
Yeah. Not every shift's like that.
No.
It's just certain shifts. And, you know, if you're triaging, there's a constant queue of triage and you're listening to people's stories constantly. And especially when you've got a neurodiverse brain.
Yes.
To stay on track and listen to people takes 10 times more energy because like our conversations, we go all over the place and that's my brain always.
Yeah.
So like what we were talking about, someone and like you're looking at someone, but then you realise that you've not heard a word they've said.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I find that is really exhausting.
Yeah, it is exhausting.
And then a night shift. I love the shift. I love a night shift. It's great. But then the next day it's like, oh my God.
Wowzer.
It's hard.
So, I mean, I've done a stint in A&E when many years ago, but just for the listeners, when they watch the likes of 24 Hours in A&E, is that not a true reflection for you?
Not in the slightest. I think the way they do it because they pull on a story, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, they'll interview a person and it follows their journey, which is really nice because, you know, it's about the people, like the patients and the relatives and the visitors.
Yeah.
I mean, like we see it from a staff point of view. And I think one of the hardest things about being in A&E for a long time is you can get, and it's awful to say, but it's so true, you can get compassion fatigue because you're seeing stuff all the time, every single day. And then there's long waits and people are complaining at you and it's always the nurses they come to. It's not the doctors. And then they're just having a go at you but you understand why they're upset because they've been waiting and then maybe they're scared. It's the worst day of their life. You know, they're frightened.
Of course, yeah.
Or they're with a relative and they're tired. They've been there for hours and hours and hours. But the constant apologising for it and the constant people coming at you, it's just, it wears you down. And I think that's what you don't see on these programmes.
Yeah, of course.
So there have been other programmes. I was on, there was a Celebrities on the Frontline a few years ago. My other half found great pleasure in reposting me doing chest compressions.
Brilliant.
That was embarrassing. But we've done another one. There's one that's coming out on Netflix next week, I think, which is Critical. And that follows like the 4 major trauma centres in London and HEMS, which is like the air ambulance people who obviously fly and they do road, and then London Ambulance Service. So that should be quite good.
So tell me about that.
So they just follow the trauma. So London's quite unique in that we have like a trauma network. So in each sort of corner of London, so there's like 2 in the north, 2 in the south, there's a major trauma centre. So we're South East, we receive all the trauma patients from really all the way down Kent, Surrey, Sussex, we're like covered. So we all see slightly different things because you have like your local traumas. Like there's a lot of gangs where we are.
Right.
You get lots of stabbings, shootings, but then you also get like down in Kent, like a horse riding accident or really nasty falls, tree surgeons and so many like road traffic accidents. So I think the Netflix crew are filming, obviously I've not seen it yet. I've seen one of a couple of colleagues have sort of flashed up on the preview. But yeah, I think they follow that from the call centre down to dispatch. There was like, you know, there's crews all over. So it's taken about a year to edit, I think. It's been quite a while. So
Were you filmed for part of it?
I can't remember. I think potentially in the background. I wasn't interviewed for it, which is fine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is fascinating. So talk about, before we get into this, I'm fascinated. You know the trauma centres, do you all talk to one another?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, that would be really sort of high up, like the clinical directors and the trauma high people. Yeah. There will be those kind of meetings and all that kind of stuff. But generally, people will hit certain criteria as to whether they can go to like a normal district general hospital or there are trauma units as well. And then there's major trauma centres.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's all kind of like if something can't be managed in like a trauma unit, then they will refer on to the major trauma centre. So they'll come to us.
And if you get full, can you refer out to a different?
Not really.
No.
So if you're really, really full, we can get like a divert for normal like priority calls, or no, not priority calls, like normal ambulance attendances. We can sort of, you know, like an hour's respite. They'll go to the local hospital that's just down the road. But really like trauma, stroke calls, and red phones really, you have to go very, very high up to get a divert.
Yeah.
But I mean, I went in when we had London Bridge terror attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just trauma, everything. We just managed to clear everything out of ED and just because we didn't know what was coming. That was an interesting.
But it's quite
awful.
exciting as well, isn't it? Or is it not really? I mean, is it just, is that the wrong word?
I don't know. It's like you're on an adrenaline boost because everything's coming and you've just got to be prepared constantly.
Yeah,
I always come back to a story when I was band 5 in resus, working in resus, and it was before COVID. It was quieter then, and I just remember hearing some like screaming at the ambulance doors, and I was like, "What's that?" And then someone came in and said, like, "There's 2 guys at the ambulance doors." And then they came in and we were having like a spate of petrol attacks in South East London. Like there's different like trends that happen, and it was like these arson on each other. And these guys had just like rocked up and, like really seriously, really injured. And it was just, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it just gave me this whole new appreciation for paramedics because,
Yeah.
like when that red phone goes off, which you've seen on TV, that's our preps. We know what's coming in, we're preparing for it. And, like you don't even realise, but that preparation's going on. So when it comes through the door, you're there. Like even if you've just got a very small amount of information. But like when they just appear, I was like, oh, well, these paramedics, like they can just rock up on scene and
just deal with stuff.
And sometimes they just come across stuff in the road. So you do, it is like a surge of adrenaline.
Yeah.
But then like London Bridge especially was like when all that goes down and then you're like, oh my God, what just happened?
Yes.
Like, and I think we had a session not long ago. We had like a Band 7 study day and we have this clinical psychologist that comes and she talks, when we have something particularly awful that happens, we do like a hot debrief. Do you remember doing those? Like a hot debrief. So you all get together and you just, have a conversation about it. And then you do one like a few weeks down the line. So we were talking about it and she, like her threshold for doing these debriefs was so much lower than ours because we're all like long time A&E nurses. So like things that, Joe Public would find harrowing. We're just like, yeah. And then you just, it makes you realise that, what we see is not normal.
No.
Like, it really isn't normal. But there are occasionally little things that get through that armour. And you have to have that armour because otherwise you just go home and you just be emotionally distraught.
Of course, you have to be able to cope with it. And that's what you're doing. And that's the reason why you're in the role as well.
Yeah, you've got to be able to have that distance. But there are always people that you just think they pop back into your head. You don't remember that.
It's a really fine line, isn't it? That like strength of character, that slightly stoic nature alongside that really empathetic person. It's almost like if you were to explain to someone that role, you'd be like, okay, I know people like this and I know people like this. How do you do the two and still be this like soft human?
Yeah.
And I've always felt like that with something like an A&E role. It's okay in the wards, you've got a minute. But in A&E, you don't really.
No, it's just so busy all the time. Like I said to you, I was telling you, I was reading the report, wasn't I, from the night shift, and it's just like there are as many patients in there of a night time now than there would be in a day. It just doesn't. It's relentless, and usually the summer was kind of a respite because you'd get, there'd be traumas and accidents, but like medical stuff, not so much. So it was A&E respite, but it's not that anymore. And obviously having a lot of mental health that can be verbally, physically, like abusive.
I can imagine.
And, I don't go into work many days without being called a C-bomb.
Yeah, really.
It doesn't bother me at all. Like I get called every name under the sun. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
But then you become like used to that.
Yeah,
and then I drop it in normal life and I'm like, oh, we're not in A&E.
I'll pop sit in the school playground. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah, you have to rein it in and learn when it's appropriate.
That is brilliant. So take us back then to the moment that you really felt that aesthetics was the road or the path part-time that you were like, I love this industry. Because I feel your passion for it.
Yeah. I don't think there was a moment. So I did the training.
Yeah.
And I was fascinated. So I love learning. We have, a bit like you, constantly, my brain needs to be fed all the time. I love learning new things. I don't always retain them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that. And it's just that it was something new and it was like, oh my God, I'm feeding my brain with this and feeding it. But then I was also really frightened of complications.
Right,
because
the biggie.
Again, like our brain always goes to the worst place.
Absolutely.
So, and I don't think I've really got over that anxiety of complications. So then I went and did my prescribing to make myself. And I think it's just the more you learn, the more you want to learn.
Yeah.
And then it's weird because it started as injectables, and I still do injectables, but the skin is where I just love it.
That's the bit that grabs
absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Everybody has a thing.
Yeah.
And that the skin for you is...
Yeah.
That's really
I think
interesting.
that, you know, there's so much you can do with injectables and people expect certain things, but you know, if you get somebody that's a real sun worshipper, and they have been for a very long time.
Yeah.
But then you can help them with the skin and improve things.
Yeah.
And that is worth 10 times more than some Botox or filler.
It's so true. Well, you know, I believe wholeheartedly in this. So you are preaching to the converted girl. I am already all up in that. And it's really nice to anybody that's listening that knows actually we're not all just about the needle.
No, not at all.
You know? So what surprised you then when you, you know, made the step into aesthetics about aesthetic land compared to NHS land?
Oh, it's completely different, isn't it? It's, and I think that's why I enjoy the polar opposites.
Yes.
So like you get respite from one to another.
Yes.
And the aesthetics industry it's not just the aesthetics industry. It's like there's a real divide, isn't there?
Yeah, massive.
You have like the non-medics and the medics, which I feel like is really heating up at the minute.
It is.
And it's navigating that is very difficult. And I think the more aware of people that you come and the more aware of the industry. So for example, I remember the first time that I found out that these people that win these awards, they've nominated themselves.
Yes.
And these people that are in like, oh, I'm featured in this magazine.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, how do you get invited to like write, like have your opinion in a magazine? Well, no, you've got a PR company that puts you forward.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all this smoke and mirrors. And it's just like, at first you're like, oh, this is so glam, I love it.
Yeah.
And then you start to see the real.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I don't want to be part of that.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely not. It's just keep my, I mean, you know me, I'm not big on social media. I just keep myself under the radar, really.
Yeah. And that, but the thing you do until you didn't with when you approached us. And I think you get approached a lot more than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think you do from what you've told me over the time. But this industry does have a real juxtaposition with values and, you know, integrity, and it gets a bad rep. Now, I think that we can't berate it too much because we are perpetuating the industry to a degree because, especially with toxin, it's a drug, we know, in order for non-medics. And I want to not, again, berate that cohort because whilst we know that we want regulation, they're being some people are being trained and believe they're being trained in the right way. So it's actually not always the people that have stepped out and are not a non-medic. If they are trained, they believe they can do it. So I do think that there's a real like fine line with this term non-medic and medic. And there are so many amazing skin therapists.
Absolutely.
That would be incredible injectors and are incredible injectors.
Yeah.
It's about how we make that real jump, that divide, that safety for the patient.
And
it's about the patient.
Absolutely. Because there are, I really don't like the term medic and non-medic. It's the only, we say non-registered healthcare professional then, for example.
Yeah.
There are so many people out there that have done everything right.
Yeah.
They've got really safe clinics. They practice like, you know, it's pristine.
Yeah.
They have, you know, prescribers that they work closely with. Yeah. And they've given everything and they want to be safe and they're doing everything.
100%.
Yeah. And those are the people that I think that depending on what regulation looks like in the UK, in England, I think that they should be the ones that are okay because they're already doing everything right. And they're the ones that would be willing to work with a prescriber on site.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, it's always that small percentage of people that aren't doing things right that then cause the problems.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? That we really have to kind of like cut through and really instill the values that we've got. And I'm hoping that, you know, this podcast allows me and you to speak to people listening and hear true voices
Yeah.
You know, because I'm the same as you. You know, when we first started, I was like, it is all smoke and mirrors, this industry. I love it, but my gosh, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
And that's probably a reason why we connected as well, because we were just both like, okay, we can step away from that. Whilst you have said that you are not like the loudest on social or the loudest in the room in terms of like, you know, that media heavy presence, you don't need to be. But when you do speak or when you do get asked to do anything, people want you. People listen. They want you for a reason. Why do you think that is? In your integrity or practice, like what? Because you are so conscious of doing it right.
It goes back to what we were chatting about last night. I get so many. All my business comes from referrals. It's all organic growth. I don't advertise, and it's people that are like, "Oh, you sorted my friend's skin out. Like, can you help me?" And I get people in and give them a consultation, and I'm not selling them things. I'm not saying, "Oh, you need to have this, this, and this." I've had people that have come to me and they're like, they've spent $3,000 in a clinic on treat, and they've told me what treatments that they're booked in for and they've had, and I'm just thinking that is not going to work. And it actually makes me a terrible business person. I am terrible, but I am absolutely. And I'm not motivated by money at all.
No.
Like my dopamine is you change somebody's life by, just a few little things.
Definitely.
And I think that's probably why, because they know the amount of people I turn away. I said, that's not going to work for you.
That's exactly what I'm like. I say no more than I say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Same.
And I think being able to have that real, I want to sleep at night. I care about my patient. I treat my patient as if it's me sat in the chair. I take it that seriously.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't want anybody to stand over me. Like, people have got to trust you within minutes of meeting you to change the way that they look.
Yeah.
Within minutes.
And we talk about managing expectations, and I'm really very clear about that. And if I think that, this is not really going to make a difference. Yeah. Like, because money it's not easy come, easy go. Like people.
100%.
And where I'm based, yes, I'm in London. Everyone thinks, everyone's got loads of money in London. Yeah. It's not like that. I mean, yeah, exactly. But not everybody in my area has that. They're just, disposable income is not as disposable as it was.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the reason that I'll be like, look, you'd be better off saving your money and having surgery.
Love that.
Which sounds a bit brutal. But.
No, but you're being honest and you're being real and you're being true. And is it difficult being in London? I know you get loads of referrals, but in a sea of clinics and like there's more and more.
I think initially I thought that, and I thought you'd look at people that were around you, but it's not that I can't be bothered. I'm just not interested in what people are doing.
Yeah.
Like I could be busier, but I don't want to be. I value having time with kids as well. So I just think I like to just tick along. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Otherwise I'd advertise, and I'm just not, I don't need to. I'm quite happy with what
You've
comes
got
through.
Quite a nice eclectic mix of what you do, haven't you? Inside and outside, and the mix of what you do in terms of like the weighting of, shows and things like that. You don't do too much, but you do some. You do some aesthetics. You do some of the evenings. Do you go to any of the training stuff, like any of the meetings in London?
What do you mean, like the conferences?
Like the aesthetics conferences? Do you go to some of the local meetings?
I went to CCR in October with Keith. And I hadn't been to it for a few years, and it looked very, very different. That was the first thing. Like I walked in, I was like, wow, this is very different. Because changed. When I'd gone like 2 or 3 years before, it was all filler companies.
Yes.
And this time there was like maybe 2 filler companies. Wow. It was, all like looking at longevity and all this kind of stuff. It was very, very different face of the industry. So that was good. I mean, sometimes it's interesting, to go to them, but I don't religiously, and then be posting it on Instagram that I've, made a reel that I'm going to the show. I remember going to this first show, and I would see these people that were in the industry that were trying to build their profile. Yeah. And they'd obviously gone and had a blow dry and were wearing like dripping in design, and they had like an entourage, and I was like, oh my God, like filming them, going around the show. I was like, this is wild.
This has changed.
I was like,
that's not what the industry was about.
No. And I think if that's what you're about, then it's not for me.
No, it's never been for me.
No.
You know that. You've been a welcome addition to the team.
Oh, I love it so much.
You've been a welcome addition. And I said earlier on that it's taken me 10 years to pick a trainer to come in-house. It just was not, I couldn't trust anybody.
I do. I understand that. It's hard, isn't it? Because, and I think that as well, that is your neurodivergence, because you've created something, and even though you're doing 8 billion other things now, you just can't let it go.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you made it through. You like cut through that. And you said, why don't you do, what about an SPF? What about, and we did it because you said it. We were thinking about it, but because I really trusted you.
Wasn't that a conversation in the toilets at the
I think it was, yeah.
aesthetics awards?
Is that not the place you do it?
Of course.
But you decided to put your head above the parapet a bit, and you did say it, and you said, I love this brand so much. I love the product. I love what it stands for. And I'm just grateful that you did. You've done a few sessions.
Yep.
You said you love delivering it.
I love it.
Do you like them? Do you like that? That's another bit of what you do. And a bit of it. And
the training. Yeah, that's
training.
Another bit. Yeah, I love it so much.
Why?
I want people to know how much I love this.
Yeah.
And it's my favourite treatment to do.
Oh.
And I always say to my patients, please send me pictures.
Yeah.
Please, I never get bored of a peeler picture.
Yeah.
I never, ever get bored of peel pictures. And just seeing, the education and like the pathophysiology and just how everything links in.
Yeah.
And it's just, no matter how many times I say the same things, I talk about the anatomy and physiology, I talk about how the acids work, it's never boring.
It's never boring. I'm 10 years in, so it's not boring for me, but it really does not get boring.
No.
Because you feel like, especially with the evolution of the industry and the way it's changing, now we can talk about it's stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And now it even sits really well alongside longevity treatments and regenerative medicine.
Yeah.
Like really well because of glutathione as well.
Yeah.
So it feels like even though the product hasn't overly evolved, it has evolved.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
People are now realising, I mean, you when we both start, I mean, you've been in this industry way longer than I have, but 7 years I've been in it. And the shift towards skin health is huge.
Massive now, isn't it?
People weren't interested in that. It was just like, give me some fillers.
Absolutely.
And now we talk about that when we do the peels and we talk about, regenerative treatments and that's where they sit. Yeah. Peel sits right in with that.
It's great.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I certainly feel like that it's managed to really bridge the gap and blend in.
And I think it's that
other treatments have gone by the wayside.
Yes, exactly, because it's not a fad. We know that it's been around for many decades, years,
that's right,
centuries.
Yeah.
In some form.
Yeah.
But it's just about so many people. I suppose it's a bit like you do microsclerotherapy here.
Yeah.
So like people think that you inject the vessel, it disappears and that's it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Because that's what's pleasing on Instagram, isn't it? Like that's like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like so pleasing to watch.
Yeah.
Whereas people think that a peel is the peel.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And then it's just like, however, that's not the best bit.
This is the thing. This is the one thing that kind of scares me a bit when we're talking about realistic expectation. When the theatrical part of the peeling is more appealing,
Yeah. But
I know. Than the result.
Yeah.
Because at 5 days and 7 days, they're like, well, it's not. And I'm like, no, wait. You've just done the first bit.
Yeah.
And you still, even if you said it till you blew in the face, over and over again, and you give them the thing and you talk to them and, they still have this like, but, and I don't think I think that will always be.
I think so, because people, they just, it's the same. You can only take so much information in. So like you have the consultation, and even on my consultation, I go through all the patient instructions like that in a home kit, and I read them, and I know them in my sleep, but I still read them just in case I miss something, and then I do it again at the treatment. Yeah. But whether they take that, and then when you remind them, they're like, oh yeah. But then I always say, I said it in when we did the magazine article about blended peels, like a peel is not a silver bullet.
Yes, I use that now.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I've stolen that.
Oh no, it's good. I liked that one.
I love that.
But it's not, and it's just. But then no aesthetic treatment is.
No.
It's everything. It's a whole approach, isn't it? So I think that when people are aware of that and then they become open to other things supporting peel for whatever reason they're having it, those are the people that keep coming back.
That's right. When they believe it, they understand it. And it's almost like they've got to like, what's the word? They've almost got to break that seal first, having go, okay, get it now. I get it.
Yeah.
And once they've done that, they're in. It's not like we want them to buy in, but in a way they have to believe it and experience it in order to have that real lived experience of this is a peel that will actually change the way your skin behaves.
Yes.
And that's the unique part about it. So given that then, and I'm really, really aware that you have got a really sound ethical practice, because we both have said that we've learned, we say no more than we say yes. And, I would probably be worth millions had I have taken a different route. Didn't want to, wasn't interested. It's not my vibe. It's not your vibe. It's not how I work. So for me, patient safety is overridden and overtaken my practice more than the money has, like you said. I'm not in it for that. But what do you feel that you wish more practitioners getting into this industry? Do you think that like sound ethical practice, because more people are doing it, isn't there right now? Or do you think it's because people think they've got more accessibility? That it's like an extension of beauty treatment. Can't you do it? It's just Botox. It's just...
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I think... So the aesthetic industries, like there's a good side in terms of it's made treatments very accessible. It's made people talk about having treatments, and other people that maybe would be really unhappy with themselves realise that actually there are things that I can do.
Yeah.
So I think that side of it's great, but there is the kind of, like you can walk into, not far from where I live, you can walk into a hairdresser's and have Botox the same day. And I'm like... Yeah, so I think that will start. Even when I went to the conference in October, the MHRA were there, and they had a big in their like stand. They had a massive pile of Botox that they had seized from some of the stands that were obviously illegal, imported, and they have that power to just go and seize. So I think that, because people know that they can just walk in and have it, and obviously if they're going to a doctor or a dentist, that's fine. They can do that. But they don't understand, and that's the worry. I mean, obviously we've all seen in the news what happened in the north recently. I don't think that's going to be isolated. I think there's going to be a lot more of that happening. And this is where I do kind of feel a bit sorry for non-medical registered professionals that are doing everything correctly, because they get tarred with that same brush.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I think there are so many ethical practitioners, but they're not the ones that you read about, unfortunately. It's with everything in the media, isn't it? Huh?
That's brilliant.
But it's true. You only ever sensationalise everything in the media. So,
do you know what? One of my guests had said one trend that he wishes disappeared was sensationalisation.
Yeah.
And
with everything,
with everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Do you think that you take things from A&E into aesthetics and vice versa, or because they're so different, you could never do that? The reason why I'm asking this is because I remember when Sharon, the aesthetician that works with me, she's a nurse, she took A&E locally here through COVID as a matron.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
And it was like that's where she wanted to get to, but obviously in very difficult circumstances. But when we first started working together, because of the triage element of A&E, she was very much like, okay, go. And that would be like her approach with patients.
I can see how that happened.
And I was a bit like, I would be in there for 45 minutes, and I'd be like, okay, when are we going to the wedding? What's your brother's name?
That's me.
Do you know what I mean? I want to know it all, right? So she'd be in and out in 10 minutes, and we've talked about this. And she's like, I think that's what I'm getting better, but being in A&E, I've not needed to really find out. So I need to have to develop that rapport with patients. Now, because you're in such a fast-paced environment, do you find that you get a bit, okay, it's just a wrinkle, or do you downplay, or no?
No, but I can absolutely see where Sharon was coming from with that, because if you're in triage, you need to filter out all the fluffiness and just get to the facts, because that's what triage is. You're sorting to
get them
do you
into
see
the right
where they
place.
need to go? Yeah.
Yes.
But I also have the other side that we talked about, waffle.
Yeah.
So like when I've worked in a clinic and it's like, you've got 20-minute appointment for Botox, I'm like, oh my God. Because it's not me naturally. Like I will chat. So in my own clinic, I'll leave an hour for Botox appointment.
Yes.
Because I don't want my patients to feel rushed. And sometimes I do say to them, if you're in a rush, just tell me to shut up and we'll get on with it. Because it's just like I have that rapport with people, with my client base.
And that's quite a juxta though when you're in an environment that requires fast of you.
Yeah, but then I'm genuinely interested in people. And not that I'm not at work, but I know that it's time.
Requires a different version.
Yeah, it's very time sensitive, time critical in A&E, whereas it's not so much here. So, but maybe that's because, I don't know. Maybe it's just a personality thing. I don't know. I
love that. I think that texture of you is really nice. Yeah. That you can do both.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it sort of satisfies and satiates the need that you've got here. I can spend some time. It can slow me down a bit. I can sit and spend time with my patients in my time, but also I've got this satisfied need to work in that way that you're calm in the chaos, which is what you said. Yeah. So I think I can see why that would work really well for you.
But I can't mix the two. So if I'm in A&E and I'm getting messages from my patients, I can't, I couldn't be like, I'll go for my break and I'll reply to some messages because it's just like, I'm in this one or I'm in this one. Yeah. There's no like.
I get you. And that happens a lot actually. So if I'm like on the school run or, if I'm in the middle of whatever and, I'm juggling, my parents are elderly and, I've got 2 boys and, one's at 7 and one's 19. So like very different ends of the school spectrum as well, and then I'll get a fertility pharmacy question and I have to now be like, okay, hang on, which I can't always switch.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I get that.
So I think that's probably why I'm just like, I can do a bit of both.
100%. You just answered the other question.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, no, it's perfect. And that's what I love about this because it feels so organic that I don't even need to, we get onto them without even, which is great. And I just thought how you balance the two and you just said it and it works for you.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody's looking for. It works for you.
I think that people see, sorry to jump in, but people see that if you work in aesthetics, they're like, why are you not doing that full time? Is it you're not busy enough? And it's like, no, I enjoy.
Yeah,
because each one makes me better at the other one.
Yeah.
And it's hard for people to understand that, especially you see like, these part-time injectors. And I'm like, but I that's how I want to be.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people that do that. They like the balance of the two. And it's not like I'm working full-time and squeezing it in. It's just, like,
Yeah. You've got the right split.
Yeah.
We talked a bit about the trauma shift in between the shift work here and the aesthetics work there. Do you think that actually doing both have complemented you as an ADHD brain because it does satisfy this and satisfies that, like home life wise? How do you go? Okay, how does your family cope with this Julia and that Julia?
There isn't a this Julia and that Julia. There's just car crash Julia. Basically, I was driving up here and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot my vanity case with all my skincare in it and my contact lenses and my braces and everything. And it's just like everything's swimming constantly and that it doesn't matter what environment I'm in that's going on. I think that when I go to A&E, I manage to leave all that.
Got you.
Because I'm just in that environment.
Yes,
so that's almost like a respite.
Yes.
At home, it's all coming at me.
Yeah, yeah.
And the kids are making a noise. And then I'm like, oh God, I can't cope with this noise.
Yes.
Like I can be in A&E where there's a million noises. Yes, they irritate the hell out of me and I have to silence certain alarms that are just constantly going off because they hurt me, my head.
Yeah,
but the kids making a noise is just the worst. I'm so noise sensitive.
Yeah.
And I think they see that side of me at home. Yeah. Or the classic ADHD is like, right, I'm gonna tidy up now.
Yeah.
And you pick something up and you go to put it away, but on the way you see something else, you start dealing with that one. And then that lead you to put something in a drawer, but then the drawer's a mess, so I need to sort out the drawer. So I'll get everything out in the drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, this shouldn't be here. Let's go to that. And then 5 hours have gone and the house looks 10 times worse than when I started it. And I'm like, my other half will come home and I'll be like, I've been tidying all day. And he'll be like,
really?
What have you been tidying? Yeah. I'm like, well.
Can't you see it?
Yeah. So they get that side, yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's true. And so interesting. I can totally resonates with me. I've since separated and recently divorced, and I've tried to give myself some like grace and time and take time out and really, because I too have that like sensitivity to noise at times. It's not really been a big thing for me in life. I've never really, Ollie has it more than I ever have. I've never known it to be a thing. Ever.
Really?
Really, 100%. So it's never really been a thing that I've thought, oh, but what I am conscious of, and I think that maybe is it because if I'm tired and when I'm stressed, is that when it...
Oh yeah, it's worse.
It's way
or hormones.
Worse. Yeah, exactly. So I've tried to learn to just embrace the moments when it's mad and actually try to be present. And that helps me regulate it.
Really?
Honestly.
I don't even know how I'd do that because I'll go and sit in the car.
Really?
Yeah. It's an assault on my head if I'm tired and hormonal and all that kind of stuff. And there's just screaming or arguing and I'm like, I can't take it. It is like an innate panic. I have to remove myself from that situation. I can't deal with it. Or like my oldest and my other half, they'll start play fighting and she starts screaming. I'm like, oh, please stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really an assault on the system. Yeah.
Massively, yeah. And I don't think, unless you have that, you don't understand how much it hurts.
No, I appreciate that.
But it's like,
totally get that.
We were talking about like how certain neurodiverse brains, so a neurotypical brain will be able to filter, if you're in a coffee shop having a conversation, you'll be able to filter out the noise of the cappuccino machine, the milk frother, like the other conversations that are going on. Your brain automatically filters that out to just concentrate on the person in front of you. But a lot of brains that are neurodiverse cannot do that. So everything is at the same level and it's really difficult to deal with. And it's just something that you don't realise is different until somebody tells you that other people can do this and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So, it's just, things like that become really difficult because I can't filter out and just concentrate on something else. God, I'd love to do your technique though.
I've really, really worked hard and tried to like get, it doesn't happen all the time, but just really, because I know that I'm not good at it. I know that it really it upsets me when I know, no, I've just heard them, but I've not listened to them. And I walk away like, Phil, that eats me alive.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it being done to me. I'm like, are you listening?
Yeah.
So I've really tried. I don't do it all the time. I do not. And there's a running joke where they're like, you're not listening to me, are you? And I'm like, no, sorry, I'm not. I know now, I own it now. No, I'm sorry, I'm not. Whereas before I might have just completely mastered. Yeah.
It's so true.
Yes.
I do. I feel that so much.
Yeah, I'm like, yes. What did you say again? Just repeat that last bit. You can't get away with it. You can't fake it till you make it.
No, you can't, because they're so sharp. They know. Like my little one knows 100%. And but the thing is like, she'll be telling me something and it's taking so long to tell me that I've gone. And then she'll be like, hey, did you hear what? Did you listen to me? And I'll be like, I'll try and like fake it to make it. Yeah. Like I'll pull some bits out that did drip in and then she'll be like, no, Mum, that's not what I said. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Oh, I told you this. But then we've also got to realise that that's being a mum as well.
Yeah.
And that's what's really difficult about like trying to work out whether the noise is ADHD, whether it's mum, whether it's being a woman, whether it's being a busy woman, whether it's having multiple children, dealing with partners, friends, trying to just fit and juggle life.
Yeah.
Like, it might be that. And because I've not been diagnosed, sometimes I think, is it that? But I know that I've got traits that, whether it's the ability to mask or not, but I've been able to regulate some of it, not all of it, some of it.
Yeah, that's good. And you are really good at that in terms of setting yourself that challenge to try and overcome something, whereas I just like, I can't bother to do that.
But you
so I have that admiration for you.
When
you told me about like the lateness,
I
was like, I'd love to be able to do that. I'm just not even, I think I'm not going to set myself a challenge that I know I'm going to fail.
Yeah, because
no point.
feel even worse.
Yeah.
We talked a bit about last night, and one of my questions actually really goes into like what we've just talked about, but the positives of it, the superpower behind ADHD, right? As a clinical, busy, in the middle of chaos person, it works for you, doesn't it?
You see, I don't think it does. Like, I would swap my brain for someone else's.
Would you?
Any day, yeah.
But it's what makes you you.
No, I really hate it. And this is why when people go, oh, everyone's got a bit of ADHD, I'm like, no, because you don't have that darkness, that struggle.
Yes.
You know, and the issues that I had when I was at school and all the things that like make sense as somebody who's struggled with so many different elements of life and has jumped from this to that to the other. And, you know, like I remember my mum saying to me that when it was my grandma's funeral, she told me that the funeral cars were coming 45 minutes before they were, because she knew that I had this severe time blindness. And I just felt like such an awful person that I was letting people down like that. So, yeah, there are loads of things. And I'm like, I don't finish anything. You know, I don't like have an idea. It's great. But then I just lack the execution or I get bored of it. Once that dopamine's gone, you know, it's just fast dopamine and forgetting everything. Oh, my God, I hate that about myself. Like, I don't remember anything. It's awful.
Do you write it down? Do you have
Sometimes
tools?
No, not really. Sometimes I'll, like somebody had at work had a notebook, but it was a to-do list. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get that. But then will I write it down? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes I do. Like sometimes I'll write a note on my phone, like if I'm going shopping and I need stuff. But yeah, it's like, it's really frustrating. Every day I'm so frustrated with myself and hate myself on so many levels. So just being like, yeah, just I feel like I fail at everything.
Oh my gosh, that's like the opposite of what everybody else is looking at.
It's mad. I don't know how people see a different side. They obviously don't see all the stress behind me getting somewhere.
Absolutely. But that's you managing it. You've got to give yourself a pat on the back for managing it. Some people's ADHD will show up where they can't work. They can't be a parent. They can't. So yes, I know it's not a spectrum, you know, yes, it's a spectrum, but it's not linear, is it? And it's not really like you're a bit like this and a bit like that. It just shows up in so many different ways. I think my ADHD is more of a hyper focus. I've not flitted around career. I've not changed. I was a nurse, pediatric nurse, went into aesthetics, stayed. And I've hyper focused on one thing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a different version, but I couldn't do it would be so overwhelming to me to do what you do and juggle an entirely different job in a different part of the city. I would be like, so I've got
strange, isn't it? How like I look at you as being like, you've built all this and you do this and that and the other, all these different things. And I'm like, oh my God, like you're literally my hero for being able to do all this. I just think it's so amazing. I could never do that. But, and then I think it comes down to what we were saying as well about our time management in terms of, we need structure, but then I hate having too much structure.
Yeah.
So it's like I get panicked if my next week is planned out and there's no space for me to, I don't know, be a waste man.
Yeah.
Just pot around and do what I want to do that day. Like that gives me an inner panic. So, and like how you struggled to give that control of me doing some training. I don't have a booking system, which everybody finds completely mad because I cannot give that control of, okay, I'm going to open my diary 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks in advance on that day because when that day comes, like, you know, 3 or 4 days before, if I want to do something else that day, I'm going to have to cancel my clinic. So I'm just very like, I have to have that control.
Yeah, I get that. Which completely.
Is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
it's not, because it's the way it shows up for you. And I think that anybody that's listening to us right now will be like, oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God. That's what we're doing this for. To say to people, it's all right. Because you're still doing it. And you might have your dark days, but you've bothered to go and get your medication. You've bothered to, you're still showing up for your children. That's a big thing for you. I want to be there for my kids. You know, so you're cutting through the darkness that you feel that you've had to manage. And that's what you've got to give yourself a pat on the back for. Because I see the most beautiful human that you can have a laugh. We want to prioritize each other. We've been saying this for a while and we know it's difficult sometimes, but the intention behind who we are and who we want to be together is always there.
Yeah.
So give yourself some grace for that. What would we say? What would you say to somebody that's got a neurodiversity that's coming into aesthetics, is it any different? Please be honest if it isn't, if you're like, well, don't know how it shows up for you. So, because it's not set. This industry's so like fast moving. You can do lots of training. There's lots of different treatments, lots of different products. You can choose one or two things. That you're like, I'm not doing fillers anymore. Oh my God, no thanks.
Yeah.
Fillers is my favourite thing to do.
I know. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I don't think that there is.
Perfect PR.
After the perfect PR. I don't think that you really can give that advice in terms. I always say to people, like, learn the basics and learn how to be safe. And then everything else just comes as your journey progresses. You know, there's so much to learn and you never stop learning. And you see people that start up and then you see them like a year down the line and what they're talking about, what they're advertising changes.
Yeah.
Because you're influenced by people that you're initially surrounded with, aren't you? And I think everybody kind of finds what works for them. Yeah. So, you know, I have got colleagues in the industry that are neurodiverse.
Yeah.
And they approach things very differently to how I would. But I know that that's how they kind of manage it.
Yeah.
And I think you just have to find what works for you. Yeah. Don't be pressured by other people and how they're doing it, because you're not going to be them. And you don't know what's going on behind what you've seen on social media.
So true. You never do you?
No, not at all. Like, you just see what people want you to see.
Yes.
And you know, some people that are on social media every single day, like, how are you, like, what are you doing? You can't be that busy if you're on social media every day. So true. Like, I don't really pay much attention anymore.
So true. It's really smoke and mirrors. Talking of smoke and mirrors then and the industry, do you think it gets a fair representation of the industry on social media, or do you feel like we're a long way off what we know the industry is?
Again, I suppose it's what you see on social media. So like it's, you know, everything's like algorithm, isn't it? What you're looking at. I think there's more safety things out there now. There's a lot of awareness of safety issues. But have I seen any like real media, like we're talking, you know, mainstream of what's really good? Not as much. I think there was something on this morning not that long ago, and they were talking about, was it Profilo or one? They were talking about different, and I thought, oh, okay, this is good, because it's explained to people what these things are, and it's not, okay, avoid this, avoid that, this is bad. So it was good that they do feature that. But there will always be some element to tar it, to bring it down. It doesn't matter, even if you regulate the industry, there'll be something else.
Did you see the thing on this morning about the 50% of women? Were we talking about this last night? 50% of women were, because that post came up, didn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
50% of women were left with a complication after visiting somebody that wasn't regulated.
But again, I think figures can be manipulated.
Very much so.
And I don't necessarily think that it's always the case.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that, you know, this was originally a medic industry and medics have created the problem.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, they've gone out and trained anyone just for a fast buck.
Yes.
And then those people have done a course and then started up an academy. And then, you know, you're going to attract unscrupulous practitioners. And it's just snowballed. It's got out of control. And
we are our worst enemies and we have perpetuated our own industry. When people say to me and I say, oh, no, because Botox is a drug, you need to prescribe it. And they're like, oh, so the beauty therapist can't do it. I'm like, no. I mean, but not without the right person to get hold of the drug.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
And then you see people advertising like 3 areas of Botox and a mil of filler for like £100. And you're like, well, those numbers don't add up. So what are you putting in somebody's face? But it always comes down to you don't know what you don't know. And Joe Public, who's not as invested in this industry, walks past and sees something. They don't know. They don't know it's a drug. They don't know this, that and the other. So it's a public awareness, but I don't know. It's so far out of control. There'll always be things going on with it.
Absolutely.
It's just, I think that you just focus on yourself and being the safest and most ethical practitioner that you can be.
Absolutely.
And just don't even worry about other people.
So true. I think that's really, really great
Although
advice.
having said that.
No.
Having said that.
Go on.
I've got, there are people that I know that have gone into the industry that are nurses and they are doing treatments that I think, and advertising things that they shouldn't be advertising. And giving them a friendly word, like face to face, not because I know messages sound like just be careful because, you know, it takes one person to report you, blah, blah, blah. They've just totally chosen to ignore it. So, you know, you try and help people as well. And it's just like, okay.
There are so many incredible therapists, beauty therapists, skin therapists that are delivering it. Anybody doing it safely, doing it well is the right person to be doing it for you.
Yep.
I don't want to, like we said right at the very beginning, berate or vilify anybody, you know, and there are some medics, like you say, that are just not responsible.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that we call that out.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we're talking about the therapists and the skin therapists, beauty therapists that are working alongside medical oversight. You know, they're aware of risks and they've got somebody that, you know, we talk about medical oversight. That's a problem in itself, isn't it? Remote prescribing still going on.
Yeah.
You know, do the public know that they should be seeing a prescriber face to face?
No.
Most of them don't.
No.
And there are still people that are doing the remote prescribing for, like, I saw on a well-known app some, like, advertising it for like £6 a prescription. And I'm like, the amount of blood, sweat and tears that went into my nursing degree and my prescribing, like, I would not I don't prescribe for anybody else anyway.
I'm not giving that up.
No. And it absolutely blows my mind. And then people will go on a forum and they're like, I've just qualified in my prescribing. I want to do, like, you know, what do I need to prescribe for people? And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. It's really frustrating.
So frustrating.
In aesthetics nursing, we've talked a little bit about that it's not just about the needle. It's about the skin. Alongside, I'm a massive believer in combination treatments and emotionally preparing patients for treatments that they think they might get, but that's not how I work. And so like you, it's not always about the needle. It's not always about, you know, what you think it's going to be. We do loads of combination treatments because I'm such a believer in the different layers of the skin and all that sort of stuff. And we're going to put things into different places. But we, you know, there's definitely a place for fillers for sure. Same with toxin. In your practice then, in your aesthetics practice, do you have a routine of where do you have the same thing? Is it super bespoke? Do they come in? Do you have, you know, have you been taught in the art of consultation, compelling? Has being an A&E taught you to understand what's going on? Like, how do you build your sort of?
I think that just evolves as so I give somebody a mirror and I say, like, you know, what is it you know, you've come to me today, what is it that's bothering you? Show me. Because I mean, I think we've talked about this before, like, what you see somebody else might not see.
So true.
So then going and saying, oh, we need to fix that. You know, and I see it on social media. I'm like, oh my God, like, what are you doing to this poor person? Yeah. But and I think it's then listening and then giving that education. Well, you know, the reason that's happening is potentially because of this. Yeah. Look, we can do this. And then I'm really hammer home, like, the risks, the benefits, expectations, the mechanism of action of whatever it is. Absolutely. You know, for example, toxin, like, you know, some people, I see them bang on 12 weeks, they're ready, they've got full movement back. Some people, I see them twice a year. Yeah. Like, I don't know what it's going to be like for you. There's, you know, it's just really kind of preparing for everything. And then, and then just working out a plan. And it's, let's start with this and see how you feel.
The amount of people that say to you that they go, no, you're the expert, you tell me.
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm like, I can't do that. No. Because I'm like, what? If I point something out, you might never ever see that. Yeah. And there was a really famous story that was floating around the Harley Medical Group when I first started there. And a woman was in the waiting room, was called in for her consultation. And we were all like nurse counsellors. And I wasn't doing it. It was just a story that was floating around. And they said, right, what we're doing about that nose. And she went, I'm here about my boobs. So it's like always stuck with me that you just can't, like, no. I mean, but it's actually true because you always miss the mark. I don't tell anybody what I think that they need. No. It has to come from them. And it sounds like you do the same.
But so many people do. Yeah. And then they upsell something and it's so unethical. And as, you know, somebody that works in the NHS as well, like, it's like a duty of care. You have that duty of care to people.
You have a duty of care. That is absolutely so true. And something that don't forget, we have to be beholden to our code of conduct.
Yeah, definitely. And I think without even having that constant awareness, it's just something that you tend to do. I just do it naturally, without thinking about it.
We were taught that way.
But there are certain, people will come and inquire about a certain treatment, and then, I'll say, look, for like anything that's regenerative, like polynucleotides, for example, I'll say like it's under the branch of regenerative medicine. Yeah. We're going to give your body the tools to do something, but I don't know how your body's going to respond. So, it's just, this isn't what you're going to see on social media or this, that and the other. So you do sow that seed out, and then once you've done that, they come back and say, I want to give it a try.
Yeah, that's true.
Then they've weighed it up. It's not me saying, yeah, let's do that. Of course, the 3, it's going to be great.
Completely agree. And it's really, really hard actually to, people have naturally come in with their own view on regenerative medicine. They're asking more for polynucleotides and things like that than they ever were. I think they're also asking for Profilo and for exosome treatment, and we're combining it with other things. But are you on board? Is the jury still out? Are you like, because I'm like that with Profilo. There's a few treatments where I'm like, I wish it would do the thing every time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always give me the same hit. And I get that. Everybody's canvas is different. But
I think that with polys, it's hit and miss, isn't it? Yeah. Like some people feel like that it's really kind of helped. I always say like it's going to help a bit with, like your skin, overall skin, but all these claims potentially not. Yes. Yeah. Profilo, again, I say like I have people that absolutely love it. They come and they want it all the time. They love it. Yeah. And then some people have it and they're like, I don't see any difference. Like what is this?
I think quite often though, because their mindset, and with the best will in the world, we're always setting people up and their expectations in the right way. But I think because you're injecting what essentially boils down to a filler for them, even though it's not, you're filling something.
Yeah.
There's I'd be like, it hurts. Yeah. 5 points. I'm expecting miracles from this product. So even with the best cell in the world, even the best cell, it's not going to work. And you can still have it done. And they're still like, meh.
I know.
So because it's an injectable, there's an expectation of it. And it's the same with the peel. Because it peels the face off, if it doesn't give them the peely results that they want, if their pigmentation has not lifted in that 1 second, they're like, yeah, it's not great.
Or they've not had a massive shed like a snake.
Yes, or they've not shed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the real thing. It's like, everyone's peeling experience is different.
Yes.
Some people shed, some people not so much, but that's not the result of the peel.
Yes.
So it's really like...
But we've got that. There's so much to juggle.
But it's almost like, sometimes I feel like I talk people out of things.
I do.
And they're like, oh, okay then, bye. Yeah, I'm like, yes.
That's where our business acumen comes in.
Yeah. Or lack of
it. Yeah. But no, I agree with you. I sometimes I will say to people, so honestly, probably too honestly, like you still want it after I've told you everything that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And if they're like, yeah, it's worth the risk, I'm like, you're the girl for me. Yeah. You're the guy for me, because you've taken the calculated risk and converted it into what you realise is, as we know, risk versus benefit. But no, I hear that completely. When you are meeting people along the way, we've got friends along the way in aesthetics land, and we have created, I just want to get to know you more and more and more. I think we should book a holiday or something, book some time away. But what does that bring to you, both personally and professionally, meeting people in this industry? And I guess in A&E as well. What does that add to you in your life? Because I feel that it's important to surround yourself with people that give you energy, that lift you, that make you feel great.
Do you not think, though, that it's a real, and they do say it's like a real ADHD thing where you're like a wolf pack and you're drawn to people with that energy, and those are the people that stay in your life. Yeah. Like we talk about my friend Keith, and I've met him through aesthetics, and we're just so inappropriate. And just like, I told you yesterday, he messages me, hi, whore, hi, slag. I'm like, hi.
Love that. And
it's just like that. Yeah. And those are the people that you end up just, it's not any effort. Yeah. And so I've got a handful of people that I'm potentially friends with. People have like messaged me and asked me for advice, like other practitioners, which I'm more than happy to help people. But yeah, like my close people are people that I don't have to mask with. Yeah. Like how long's it taken me to call you? You obviously probably won't want to put this in. To call you a slag. Oh,
but I was like, can I do it?
can I do it? And then I had to check with Molly first.
Yeah,
and I was like, and she was like, oh my God, yeah. But yeah, so it's just like, but because I think if we'd been in person more, it would have come a lot more earlier. Yeah, but I felt like I still had to be a bit more professional because it's over text. I'm like, how's she going to take this?
I would have loved it. Are you joking? I can't believe it took you so long to say it.
I know. I'm disappointed in myself.
Has there been any moments that you've had recently that maybe with your kids, I don't know, but have made you, because you said you'd flitted around a lot and you now have got this very steady life, it feels like for me, from what you're saying. Do you give yourself the time to say, do you know what, actually, I've done a bloody good job here, even though you struggle? Do you take the time?
No, not really. I think because I had to move from like the Midlands down to London, and having lived there for so long, like I was originally like lived in like Coventry, Warwickshire, and then moved up when I was primary school. So everything was there, like everything was there. And then to move down south with no family, no friends, that was really difficult. So like I've carved out this life, but now I'm like, do I want to stay in London? But having started carving out a life and have achieved, you know, like a job that I love and a business and all this, that and the other. And then like, can I do all that again? You know? So I don't think, I don't know, it's not my personality to sit and go, oh my God, look how wonderful I've done.
No.
I don't think that. I just think, I don't know. I just don't, it doesn't ever enter my head.
Well, you should. And I'm telling you that you've done amazing.
I do think though, actually, when I got my senior sister role, I was like, oh my God, I'm the little village girl. Yes. I brought a little village up north and I'm like a senior sister in what emergency department of a major trauma centre in London. Like I would never have dreamed that would happen. Like that was like a big deal for me.
Oh, that's amazing.
But yeah, but I don't think, oh my God, I've done so well to do that. I just think, wow, I'm so lucky to have this.
You've done it. I feel like you need to be prouder. So you just said that about your sister moment. Like that was a big deal for you.
I find it really difficult when someone says something like that. Like I'm sitting here squirming. Like, someone's like, I find it really, like any kind of compliment, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do you not?
Yeah, massive.
Yeah. And I suppose it, like when,
massive.
Like when we were in the kitchen earlier, I'm like, oh my gosh, look amazing. Like that's natural. Like we're just like pinging off each other. But like to sit there and like have somebody say that to you, it's like, oh my God, that's not me.
Yeah. No,
it's really difficult.
I find it really, my first thought, it's not suspicion, but why? You know, I find it lands really difficultly with me. So I hear that. But I think in order to find the inner peace that you need, it helps. So with my business coach and life coach, you have to, because there's so much imprinting that's gone on as well. You have to be like, actually, because it's so alien to us. I find it difficult even saying it. Yeah, people look at me and go, "Are you so proud?" I'm like, no. Well, yeah, of course. It's like it's not natural.
I suppose you're in it. You're not looking at it.
No.
Right, yeah.
And that's you as well. But you have to see that. And I know that with that being a sister was a big deal, but you please take the time to stop and see how wonderful you are, because you are.
I'll try. Thank you.
If you were to speak to you said about having ADHD when you were younger. Well, you've always, it's not been there. It's not like developed, but you weren't aware of it.
No.
When did you become aware of it?
It was a colleague of mine that is dual diagnosed and has been for many, many years. And he kept saying to me, you know, you've got ADHD. I'm like, no, I haven't. Yeah. And I just, like every time I'd come in, I'd be having like some kind of meltdown, this whirlwind of chaos, everything. Like I still am actually, but he made me watch this. It was like a YouTube video of like some professor talking about it, and it just resonated. And it'd been so long that he'd been saying it to me, and I was just like, whatever. And it was just like I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. It was just everything from like when I was younger, like messing around and being the class clown. And I remember jumping out the window and running around the school and like to come back in just for the laugh and locking the teacher out of the classroom and making him teach us through the window and tipping pondweed on someone else, another teacher's head, just stupid stuff. And then like having to have a mentor because they were like, you're so clever, but you just mess around, you're not going to achieve anything. All just so many things just all started to go into place. But you just don't, unless somebody tells you it's not neurotypical or normal, you just carry on. And that's what happens to so many women, especially because it's not always that hyperactive presentation. It's the brain. So it's the kids that's like off with the fairies. But they didn't, it's like with my daughter, they'd not picked it up in primary school. It's not until she went to secondary school they're like, okay, we need to be all over this. You know, they're really supporting her. They give her fidget toys, they get her out of class. They like, you know, they've really, I could not ask for any more that they've picked it up.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, but there's so many people that go into the radar and you don't need to, it's not like I'll go around to everyone going, oh, I've got ADHD. Because I don't, you know, like I know it's become so socially like aware on social media that it's something that you just don't, you know, it's not something that I go, because people think it's just, I mean, everyone's got it these days.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's just like people have had it and they have struggled for many, many years and now they know why. And I remember a doctor saying to me, it's not like your ADHD hasn't got worse, it's the environment that you're in has stops you from having those coping strategies. So having children, so where you would go and have some quiet time or just be in a zone or, you know, just be able to deal with it when you don't have those responsibilities. Like those coping mechanisms are taken away from you.
Got you.
And you're not in control of them anymore. So all the symptoms go crazy because suddenly everything's coming in at you and you can't do your little safe, happy place to de-ADHD, if you like. I don't know. So they're like, it's the environment that changes, not you. So
that's interesting, isn't
I think
it?
that's why it gets picked up in later life with so many, many people.
So many people. Well, that's really interesting. You don't have a, what did we say is when you don't have a hot minute?
No, you don't. And then I look at my daughter and I'm like, I see her struggle. We talked about it. I see her struggle, like how she says things to people without, she doesn't have this ability to sugarcoat anything. And people take it like you're being really rude. And in her head, I'm not being rude, Mum. I said, please. But she's just said it black and white.
Absolutely.
Whereas, you know, we'd fluff it off a little bit because that's socially acceptable. And it's like, I saw the challenges of her when she was younger. Like, you know, I can see her when she's excited about something, she's in someone's personal space and I can see that they're getting irritated with her energy. And she can't read that. And she's like, and or she's being taught something, like whether it's at swimming or netball, and everybody else is engaged in what they're doing and she's like off, look, she's distracted by something else. And I'm like, So, but I can see her struggles, but she doesn't always, like she's only just starting to realise that her way of things is not fitting in with other people's ways. And that's, I find that really difficult as a mum to be able to protect her from that.
Yeah, I get that completely. Same. I've had similar struggles with Ollie and, you know, I, because you've got a daughter now going through it, and that is almost like, I know it presents differently, but your younger self, what advice are you giving to her that you wish you had had?
She doesn't listen to it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah, like I've had to sit and talk to her and say like, you know, what your thoughts and feelings are not wrong. They're really not. But it's about how you voice it. So like give her a different way of saying things.
Yes.
And then I feel awful that I'm trying to teach her to fit in with the world that doesn't, like that she should be free to be herself. And like, I'm like, am I a really bad parent because I'm encouraging her to mask? But then I also know that if she doesn't learn how to do things, then she's not going to, like she's going to be in trouble. Like people perceive her as being something when she's just like matter of fact straight.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, you can't, there's never a thing where you think, is this the right approach? Am I helping her? Because you feel like then you're not helping her. It's just hard. It's like being a parent is hard. You're navigating things differently every stage of life.
You've got to juggle. You're juggling.
So, and the kids don't, remember when you were like 17 or 18 and somebody would give you some advice and you'd be like, well, listen to that old fogey.
Yeah.
Because you're not, like, I'm not going to be old.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they say youth is wasted on the young, and it's so true because we've got that hindsight. And I tell her these awful stories from work. Yeah. You probably don't want to put this on it. So one of the paediatric nurses said to me the other day, she was like, oh, I've got these kids in, like, do you know what they're doing now? These 13-year-old girls, they're having like anal sex. I was like, shut up. She was like, yeah, so they don't get pregnant. I was like, oh my God, 13-year-olds are having like, what? And she was like, yeah, it's like the school nurses are aware of it. I said, when are they doing this? She was like, on the bus, like at school, they like stand round in a crowd so they can do it. I was like, oh my God, like this is awful. So I was like, right, I'm going to have to warn my daughter about this. So I was like, how am I going to do it? I need to do it. So something is going to hit home. So she'd said to me, this is obviously going off on this tangent. She said to me, Mum, when can I sit on the top deck of the bus? Because I don't let her. And I was like, well, Renee. Yeah. She's like, when, like my friends go up there and one of them has to stay with me because I'm not allowed up there. So then I started launching into this story. This is as we're at the school gates. I'm telling her this story and she like looked at me. She was like, do you think I'm going to do that, Mum? And I'm like, well, no, but... And she was like, I just want to sit on the top. And I was like, and the thing is, if that happens and you do that, you're going to get a leaky bum and your bum's going to be leaky. And then I went on to ChatGPT and I designed a bump on. I'll show you the picture of it. And I put like an Amazon price sticker on it. I was like, you have to buy these. And she's like looking at me like I'm completely insane. But I was like, if that's the thing that gets in your head.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Like you can have a leaky bum. Don't do that.
Brilliant.
So yeah, but maybe that's the brain. I don't know.
That is brilliant. And that is the best way to end this.
The bump on.
The bump on.
Don't get a leaky bum, folks.
Don't get a leaky bum.
Yeah.
If you've just started to listen to us, please go back to the beginning of the conversation because we didn't just talk about leaky bums. It was much more interesting.
I've got lots of bum stories being in A&E, but I'm sure that's another day.
Do you know what, Julia? Thank you so much for joining me. You've been absolutely amazing and sensational. The word that we want to take away, but you've been a most sensational guest. And please, will you come back?
Always.
Talk about your bum stories.
Yeah. We'll do that over G&T again.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for today's Barefaced Chat. Thank you so much for listening. If you've loved this conversation, make sure you follow, rate, and share. It really helps more people find us and join the conversation. I'll be back next week with another honest, unfiltered chat. Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story, and I'm here for it.